When I heard and saw the anti-immigration policies, I realized and found out within those next couple of days something that I never knew about myself, and that was just how personally angry I can get, because my parents were immigrants, and I feel like even though it's just those 7 countries, I can still empathize with it. Just really disappointed in how I thought America should be and how it now is.
When I hear about things like immigration from countries being cut off, when I hear about all refugees being, just left out of the country for 4 months, I can't help but feel a little bit, I don't know if persecuted is right, it's a little bit dramatic. It makes it hard to see the future of this really great thing that I think has worked out for a lot of people.
Me and my friends, we were talking about it, and we kind of had this attitude of, okay, he's the president, but like he's still going to be like the checks and balances, he can't like do anything too outrageous. But then when this happened, we were like, can I curse? Okay, we're like, holy shit, like this is happening. We were just absolutely speechless.
I definitely felt upset. My roommate yesterday, I have 2 roommates from Egypt and they're studying abroad here, and basically he told me that he's been trying so hard to find a job, and yesterday was the career fair for Fisher students, so for business students, and he woke up and he just felt defeated. He thought to himself, why would any company in its own good reason decide that it was a safe reason, a good reason, or a sensible reason to hire someone who is Muslim and from a Middle Eastern country? And that sense of defeat is something that kept him in bed the whole day, and he never even left. He never tried to meet these different recruiters, and he gave up.
Okay, so when I first heard about the policy that was passed, I guess my biggest reaction was just disappointment. These aren't the values that our country represents.
Numb. I felt numb. I think about all the protests that got us here in the past, and we are definitely nowhere near where we need to be right now, but we made progress, and just over the weekend it just felt like that progress just got crushed.
Unfortunately, I was not shocked. This has been a reality for a lot of families ever since 9/11. It definitely was disheartening to know that there are families out there that already had such strict regulations on traveling and migrating, and now it just got 10 times worse.
Well, my first reaction was, no way. To be honest, I'm guilty of not taking him as seriously. I thought it was so outrageous, but the fact that he actually did implement that, I was very scared.
It felt really heavy. I worried that a lot of people waited all their lives to get to America for a better life, but because it's really sad.
It's okay.
So in Syria, their country is being bombed, their schools are being bombed, the children, it's just not in a safe place for them. This policy is it's a violation against human rights. Just imagine yourself being born in a country. You can't really select the country where you're born in.
It was a wake-up call for me, because I think for the longest time I always hoped that what Trump stood for in his campaign wouldn't become a reality. Honestly, it was almost a state of denial for me up until this moment.
You're a beautiful, kind soul. The world needs more people like you. I appreciate it so much. It's okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much for doing this.
You're so welcome, you guys.
You were great today.
It doesn't affect me, that's true, but I'm also a human being of this world, and as a human being of this world, I feel like you have some kind of responsibility to take care of the rest of humanity.
Other people should care is that we all have a collective interest. Culturally, legally, I should say, it's quite useful to be able to say whatever you want. It's much easier to knock things down than it is to build them up. I like this thing we've built. I hope it stays standing.
Honestly, because I come from many minorities. So yes, I'm Taiwanese, I'm a woman, and I'm part of the LGBT community. When gay marriage, or just marriage for everyone, was legalized. And I think that's something that is so strong about the rhetoric that they use in politics, is that, they label it as gay marriage or women's rights, not just marriage or rights. It's just human rights. We shouldn't be selfish beings. Because like, what is life if you just live for yourself?
So we're all fighting different battles, but these different battles kind of combine into something more collective. We really have to focus on bettering all these different groups, because even if we may not feel that specific stigma is affecting us as a whole, it's affecting individuals within our community. And if we want to better all those people, better ourselves, but also the people around us, we have to push collectively.
I think that it reflects, intentionally or unintentionally, it reflects all Americans. I personally have a responsibility, the son of immigrants. I have a responsibility as a Christian male. I have the responsibility as an American citizen to speak up against policies like these that are designed to exclude people.
People from the 7 countries, they're stuck at the airports, they're being sent back, even after waiting for their green cards and visas. Who's to say that I can just sit back and live comfortably and let this happen? This just makes me realize my privilege as an East Asian American, and definitely makes me want to stand in solidarity with everyone else.
It's really unfair for us to feel like we are only allowed to advocate for issues that are affecting us directly. We should be able to recognize our privilege, but we also should be able to use it as an advantage as well. If I have a platform to speak for people that might not be something I can completely relate to, but I can empathize with, that's hugely important, because I feel like you can use your own platforms to spread diversity of different issues and different thought processes without really being a part of that community.
It's so uncomfortable, the fact that whenever people are trying to travel to and from America, that they're so uncomfortable.
That's what's happening in Syria too. You just can't help that you're born there, and you just want a better life for economic reasons, and most importantly for safety.
I care because I think it comes down to privilege. I guess when you're in a position of privilege, you have to deliberately think about those people who aren't privileged. For someone who has a voice and who has the ability to have a voice in this country, it is my job as someone who is privileged to share that right with others, and to be their voice when they are gagged, or when they are prevented from having that voice. And so I'm president of the Asian American Association, and I wanted to be in this role because I have never been able to be in such an organization that is filled with so much passion. And this is passion to help people. This is a group of people that they care so much about specific issues, and to be their president is such an honor. My job is to help them achieve what they want to achieve, because alone they can do amazing things, but I do feel that together our message and our voice are louder and clearer.
OSU for refugees.
OSU for refugees.
OSU for refugees.
OSU for refugees. OSU for refugees.
OSU for refugees.
OSU for refugees.
OSU for refugees.
OSU for refugees.
OSU for refugees.